Hello, I'm Evan Papier, here with our football pregame show with Nate and Ian. Now, first, we're going to talk about the home teams, the Ravens and the Redskins. Now, what are your predictions this year for the Redskins, Nate?
Well, I think the Redskins are going to do especially well this year. I think Alex Smith is, in my opinion, a much better quarterback than Kirk Cousins will be ever. And I think with the addition of Darius Geis in the backfield, along with Samaje Perine and Chris Thompson maybe on third downs, I think the Redskins will have a very potent offense. And then on defense, with the addition of Daron Payne, their first-round pick this year, with him and Jonathan Allen, along with some other guys like Ryan Kerrigan and Zach Brown, they should be doing much better against stopping the run, which they were last in the league in last year. So I think the Redskins are going to have a much improved season than they did a year ago.
Do you think that the fourth down conversions will be, the third down conversions and the fourth down conversions will be more possible with this year's new team?
I very do think that. And Alex Smith, he's great on second and first down. So with him being able to get yards early in the drive, I think that'll limit the third downs that they have to take.
That's good. So, Ian, what are your views this year on the Ravens?
Ravens, I think it's going to be an interesting year for them. I do not have them making the playoffs. I think they're going to struggle, especially with Joe Flacco. I think he has an underwhelming season, and the new draft pick takes over halfway through the season. I think the whole offense is going to struggle, especially with the new wide receiving core led by Crabtree. And defense, we really did not get much help in the draft. So they're going to get hurt, especially the secondary issues we had previous years. A lot of touchdowns through the air. The rush defense has always been there. It will be there this season. But the opponent offenses are going to have great success through the air.
So you think that Crabtree will not be a big help to this team?
I do not think so, especially Flacco. He loves his tight ends. He's still going to go to his tight ends, and Crabtree is going to be left hanging out there on the wide receivers.
So you're saying it's not a smart move?
I'm saying it's not a smart move.
Okay.
I think that I do have to agree with that. That I think the addition of Crabtree is not the best thing they could have done. I think they could have instead of going with Hayden Hurst, Calvin Ridley was there on the board for them at 25, so they could have easily taken Calvin Ridley there and gotten a deep threat. Instead, they had to sign a bunch of veterans that include Crabtree, Willie Snead, John Brown, and then the two tight ends with Hurst and Andrews. They're not going to see much playing time as well, so I think they could have focused a lot more on defense. That's why I think they're not going to have a great season.
So now to our Super Bowl picks. Now, Ian, what are your picks for this season?
So, I do not have them going to the Super Bowl, but one of my surprising picks, I have the Cleveland Browns going to the playoffs this year. They did not get a single win last year, but they had a great 2018 draft, great 2017 draft. Those players are going to develop early in their careers, and the Browns are going to have a great season. Now, for Super Bowl picks, it's going to be a very interesting season. It's going to be great mix-ups. I have the Oakland Raiders in the AFC, and in the NFC, I have the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be very close, but I have these two teams coming out on top to meet in Super Bowl 53.
So I do think that is an interesting view that the Browns will get into the playoffs or do at least good this year, but it just doesn't seem like this is their year to get better. I feel like they have a few more years to work
agree with that. Yeah, the Browns just aren't there yet. Jarvis Landry, great addition. Baker Mayfield will come in probably week 10. I'd say Tyrod Taylor's definitely not the future of their franchise. I say they go about 6-10 this year, but they're on their way to success.
Now, for my Super Bowl picks, I am going to go with the Vikings because the wide receivers they have are amazing. Stefon Diggs, and their new amazing quarterback that can really help them, Kirk Cousins, that they got for as a free agent, can really take them far. I think if those guys can get a good pattern together and develop some really good plays over the season, I think they can make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
And for my Super Bowl pick, I can't doubt that the Vikings are going to have a good year, but I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be enough to push them over the hump in the NFC Championship. I have them in the NFC Championship, but a rematch of last year's NFC Divisional against the Saints. But this time the Saints won't mess it up. They're going to get to the Super Bowl on the NFC side of things. And then I don't think you can go with anybody else on the AFC but the New England Patriots. Until Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and maybe even Josh McDaniels are out of New England, I don't see Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, or any team like that overtaking them in the AFC.
Well, thank you for your picks, guys. And for our pregame show, I'm Evan. That's Nate, and that's Ian. Good night, and enjoy the game.